Hey guys, it's your boy Country Boy Max again today. So I wanted to talk to you guys about how I knew and processed and what did I do when I searched it and when I finally discovered that I was transgender. Well, so what did I do how did I search it and what did I do when I did? Of course, I YouTubed it, and I watched a lot of YouTubers. I watched, even though they're not transgender, they're gay. I watched Connor Franta and Joey Kusafa. I watched Caden. I forget his last name. I'm sorry. Or his name on YouTube. I watched, and I finally watched Skylar Kircher. Now, he kind of informed me on what transgender was and how do you know, and stuff like that. And so after I watched his videos, all of them, I Googled it, and I can't remember what I found, but it basically said that you feel like either a man in a female's body, or you feel like a female in a man's body, in a male's body. And so I was like, wow. I thought that, I was just sick and I was a freak when I first started. Because of what people were saying about Caitlyn Jenner. And I was just like, I must be sick. It must just be a mind trick. Stuff like that. I thought it was just a phase. I was like, no, this isn't happening. I am not a sick person. I am Victoria Nancy Mitchell. Oh, I hate that name. I am a she. I am a her. I am a girl. I will become a woman. I am not become a man. I am not a man. I am not da 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 da. And I thought I was a freak. And then I realized that, wait, I'm probably transgender. And then I watched more of Skylar's videos. And I was like, and some other people. And I was like, I'm not sick. I'm not a freak. That's just what society labels people. And society is just they're not the most accepting people in the world. Society sucks sometimes, but then sometimes society's on your side. Well, I thought I was turning against everything that my mom's family believed in. They're all Catholic, basically, except my mom and I. And I thought, no, I don't want to be shunned. I was like, no. I was like, no, this can't be happening. And I looked at the comments on Caitlyn Jenner, and I was like, wow. And some of them were awesome. Like, some of them were, like, really supportive. and I was like, I think I'm transgender. And then shortly after, I made a list on why that I think that I know that I'm trans. Why do I feel this way? Why this? Why that? Why? And I have a little notepad right here of it. Anyways, my favorite song. So the list has, I just shortened it because I was just like, no, it was way too long. And so this is just basically an overlook. And so I was like, I've always dressed like a boy. I've always dressed masculine. I started getting guy haircuts. I always liked them because it made me feel cool, and it made me feel like a guy, and it made me feel like just like a person, and that I fit into society more. I always played Ken, the doll Ken, with my friends when we played Barbies. When I was a kid. Sadly, that was like a year ago. No, like 3 years ago. Yep. Anyways, and I would always play him. I wouldn't let them play him because I knew how it was just easier to dress like a guy for me. And it was just easier to pick out guy clothes and make him dress the way I wanted to. Now that I look back, I always dressed him up like I wanted to be dressed up. But I couldn't because it was society that was telling me that I was a girl. I was going to be a woman. But I know now that I'm going to be a boy. I am a boy. I'm going to be a man. One day. One day I will feel complete. One day I will feel like I fit in. One day. Anyways. And then I would try to do a lot of workouts like my dad, or like men, really, in general, like John Cena. He has a couple videos on him on working out. He's from the WWE wrestling. And I always used to like, yeah, I'm gonna get muscles, and I'm gonna get a 6-pack. Instead, I got a 6-pack pudding cups and just flab. But no, I still got nothing. But I'm trying. And then another thing, the last thing, I listened to country music. And when I always used to listen to country guys, like Garth Brooks and Toby Keith and Florida Georgia Line and George Strait and, people like Josh Turner, Jake Owen, people like them. And I always tried to match their tone. In my head, I did, but I knew when I got older, like I knew as I got older, I learned that what my head is what I want to sound like, but in real life, I sound like a girl. And I didn't like that. So I just always thought that in my head, I was a guy, and I was built for a guy, and everything like that. And I tried to sing like them. Yeah. And then the last part of this is, how did I tell my family and friends, and what were their reactions? I basically just rewatched all of Skylar Kurgil's videos, and Caden's, and a couple others. Yeah. And I watched Joey Chrysova's coming out, and video, and Connor Ferrante's coming out, and I was like, I can do this. I believe in myself this much. I believe that I have this much courage, and I believe that I can do this. So I did it. One by one, I messaged each one of my friends, starting with my best friend, Olivia. I messaged her. She was the first person that I messaged. And I asked her, what would you do if I told you that I was transgender, and that I wanted to be a man and not a woman, and that I was trapped, and that I was a man trapped in a girl's body? And her response was, I would support you 100%. And that's what she does. She supports me no matter what. And it's really cool. And so do all my other friends. So after her, and then I told her after, I was like, well, then I guess you support me. And she's like, wait, you actually feel like this? I'm like, yeah. I'm transgender. She's like, bro, like right off. She started using the male pronouns and everything. She's like, bro, like, you're not my sister anymore. You're my brother. And you're awesome. Like, I'm looking up to you now. Like, how are you going to tell your mom? How are you going to tell your parents? How are you going to tell your family? And I was like, I don't know. But I'm going to do it. So, after I knew that she supported me, I started to tell one by one each one of my friends. And then I made a big, huge group chat, and I told my cousin that I just met in, like, December at my great-grandmother's funeral. I asked her, I told her that I was trans, and she was like, well, I support you, and what's your name gonna be? I'm like, well, I haven't decided. So I made a huge group chat with all my friends in it, and I was like, alright guys, I need some help. And they were like, okay, what's up? And I was like, I need a new name. Now, I didn't want to go for something close to my name, because then people would start just calling me Victoria again, just not call me, you know, Vic, or whoever I wanted to be, and not calling me a guy, just calling me a girl in general. Well, I was like, alright, so Troy, Max, Devin, what? Oh, anyways, and I got a lot of votes for Devin, and I got a lot of votes for Tony, and I got a lot of votes for Max. So I was like, which one of these three? To another pair of friends, and they were like, Max, Max, and Max. They're like, Max suits you. It just suits you. And I was like, okay. And then I went in that big group chat again. And I was like, I've decided. It's going to be Max. And they're like, well, I'm glad, bro. I'm glad you're Max. You're awesome. Hey, Max. What's up, Max? You know. And I told my cousin, and she was like, good job. I'm proud of you. Now, and then everybody started to ask me, how are you going to tell your family? So, the only person... Dang, truck's going out of my driveway. The only person from my family was my dad's side, and I told her, and that was my cousin. She was the only one who knew, before I told everybody else. So I basically just looked up ways to come out in statuses, and it wasn't helpful at all. So I made something up, and just right on the spot, I just started typing and typing, and I was like, alright, so I've been feeling this way for a long time now, and I really feel like this. I really feel like a man, a boy, and I'd like to be treated like one. I'd like to be called one. And then I did a bunch of dots, and I was like, I'm transgender. And if you don't like that, then you don't have to be a part of my life. But it is who I am. I will become a man one day, not a woman. And they, one by one, my family was like, oh my God, I support you, I support you, I support you, I support you. You're awesome. My mom was like, what the hell? I found out in a Facebook status? I was like, I couldn't tell you face to face, or even in a private message. I couldn't do it. So, their reactions were just all positive, and I got very few negative from the people I told. I have gotten negative feedback on videos in the past that I've deleted. But that's it. That's how I came out. That's what I did and how I knew. And a list. So if you guys want me to do more about transgenders and what it is and everything, comment down below. And I'll go on your feedback and make videos about it. And I'll do research if I don't already know about it, and there you go. So, it's your boy, Country Boy Max, signing out yet again today. Peace, love, and happiness. Love, peace, a hair full of grease. Alright, guys.